listening to, watching, hearing, smelling, tasting, and feeling sex, drugs, and skincare. Like and subscribe.
Welcome back to Sex, Drugs, and Skincare. I am Nikki Davis, licensed comedian, stand-up esthetician.
Nice.
Every time it's funnier. 59th time. Oh, Alex gave me the one H.A. ha.
Yeah. The only reason I didn't laugh out loud is because I've gotten so good at laughing at that joke, and for so many times, and for that it's just so efficient. And it blinks it out. I'm like,
what's the blink? Is that like
the
a
blink
laugh?
is me laughing hysterical.
Okay, but the thing is that the people who are listening, not watching.
Oh, so if you're listening and you're not watching, I blunk. Was it past?
You blinked.
Blinked. Oh, blinked. I always want to say broth. Like instead of saying I breathed.
Yeah.
I breathe in the air.
You breathe?
But okay, yeah, if you're watching and not listening, why don't you listen once in a while?
If you're watching and not listening.
I forgot the fuck we were talking about.
I don't remember,
Yeah.
but welcome. And this is usual is my co-host / boyfriend / Sherpa, Sandro Yocolano, without whom I would not be able to carry around the shit that you see here on this couch.
Physically, just pick up luggage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy to help.
I did it one time by myself.
Oh yeah,
That was a nightmare.
yeah.
I was crawling up the stairs, and by the time I got up here, I was sweating and having an anxiety attack. And then my niece came in, and I just barely acknowledge their existence. I was just so like out of it.
Well, I mean,
I'm still trying to catch my breath.
That's the thing about climbing upstairs when you're holding something is it really makes you breathe harder. We just cracked the code.
Yeah. Look at us.
But yeah, that was you had a different suitcase that time.
I did
as
have
well.
a bigger, like less light suitcase.
The shell suitcase is much more. I think it's a better suitcase. The kind you can like.
I prefer the
punch.
76, but yeah.
You don't like shell?
No.
What about the 76 is not as mobile as the.
You guys heard that.
Oh, okay.
You're allowed to laugh, by the way, if you're inclined, guest.
I wasn't sure if you guys were doing a podcast or having a lover's quarrel, so
Always
I didn't want to.
both.
No. If I didn't know that you guys were dating, I would have figured it out by the whole. Oh, I blinked. That's how I laughed at your joke. That's when I knew.
Yeah.
They're together.
They're together.
Yeah, and then it'll evolve into blinking. And
Yeah.
Go, You ever do that? You blink like a bunch of times and go. It means you've just had it.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
I do the nod. I used to wait tables years ago, and my roommate used to come in and just sit in my section. And one day she's like, Samantha, I know when you don't like someone. It's like, oh my gosh, is it that obvious? She's like, no, it's just because I know you. If you don't like them, you nod 3 times. Sure, no problem.
God.
1, 2, 3.
Oh,
Oh, ranch on top of that other thing that you asked me for, on top of the other thing? Yeah, sure. 1, 2, 3.
We're having a high stakes poker game later if you want to come.
Like the biggest tell. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are weird things. Like I never noticed it. Anytime I was finished killing someone, I would go.
I'm not laughing. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And
You become Dean Del Rey.
yeah, because I go, yeah.
What's that all about?
What's that all about? But if you're listening and not watching, Nikki and I know what we were talking about just back then.
When?
It's an inside joke.
Oh, it's an inside joke.
Serial killing is your
Serial
inside
killing,
joke? Okay,
yes.
fantastic.
Um,
Just checking.
Yes.
Not so much cereal. That takes a lot of planning. It takes a lot of effort. To get out
It's
there.
more random.
Yeah, when it's
Yeah,
random,
you
it's
got to do
kinda
that like 3 times for it to count.
For
That's
it
too
to be,
much.
you're
Yeah.
talking to, by the way, our guest today is
love
very
that that's
well
my
versed
introduction.
in serial killing.
Oh no!
Oh,
That's
my
not
God.
how I want
Yeah,
it.
yeah. No, all right. Well, we'll get back
No,
to
but
that.
it's accurate. I am a white woman who watches a lot of true crime documentaries.
You can hang out with my mom because that's exactly what she's doing right now. She's snoozing on an easy chair while the sweet sounds of what do you call that show?
Forensic Files?
Forensic Files are seeping into her brain.
This sounds like my best Friday night ever.
I swear to God, you guys are getting
That
along.
guy's voice is surprisingly soothing. Maybe it's because it's always kind of the same.
Yeah.
But,
My
yeah.
dude is Detective or Lieutenant Joe Kenda.
Kenda.
Yes,
Kenda!
favorite,
Yes!
the
Oh my
best.
God.
He's like, so he got away with it. So he thought. Insert clever punchline here.
Yeah,
He's
yeah, yeah.
amazing.
He's great.
He's so good.
Oh, I love
and
him.
He walks out on set and he goes, even there's like they have the names behind him, he goes,
It's so good.
oh my God.
I love it.
All right. Well, I think we found our throughway to intro into the guest.
All right, that sounds good.
It's a very fascinating topic.
This was
And,
the one we're talking about today.
Yeah.
All right, so today we're going to talk about MRSA.
mhm.
I don't usually talk about such gross topics,
Mhm.
but it's important.
Yeah.
I've had a client who had it, didn't know she had it, thought that it was a pimple. not because of me, but she did end up in the hospital, and it's very, very dangerous. So MRSA is the topic today.
Okay.
So break out your pizza.
Etheridge?
MRSA Etheridge.
MRSA. Who are you talking about? Which one? Mr. MRSA.
Just, I don't know. She's standing by the window right now.
Oh, okay.
I see what you did there.
You have to do
That's
that and everyone
fine.
shut
No,
up.
no,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
good. That was good.
Not to be confused with Mensa, which
Yeah.
some of those people might have MRSA, but Mensa. Have you ever done a show for Mensa?
No.
By the way, they're a tough crowd because they're so smart and they're so intellectual. They'll
Oh
be
my
like, well,
God.
actually, that is not correct. They will heckle the shit out of you.
It's a punchline, asshole.
And not be aware that they're doing it. They're just like, well, my practical genius brain doesn't understand
Oh
why you're
my
saying
God.
that. But they're
Living
really
in
lovely.
logic.
They're actually really lovely. They're just they're quite literal.
Sam hates smart people. Okay, we get it. All right, so let's bring her out.
Exciting.
Bring her out from the wings of the sitting right next to me. I've known her since the very beginning of comedy. I think I met you like the month after I started.
84 years.
I was going to say 1984, but you made it even longer.
I did.
Yeah, and she and I are like. Somebody asked me the other day, like, "Who's your comedy buddy?" And you were my answer.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go way. We've been in the trenches a long time.
Dude, so many trenches, and I got trench mouth just thinking about it.
I think that's dry mouth.
Dry
from the-
mouth. Oh
okay.
yeah, that's right.
Is it trench or
Lockjaw.
tranche?
I don't know.
Tranche?
Tranche.
Tranche?
That's
I
your
don't know.
French.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Good improv.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, and that we'll teach you some improv later.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay,
and.
there it is. Okay, so you got a good start. Yes, and in the middle of nothing that nobody was talking about. No, that's perfect. That's
That
the time
does
to
make-
use
Isn't that how
yes,
they
and.
normally do it?
That's when you want to use it. Is when nobody said it anything. You just
Our
walk
improv
in
is practical.
and you
it's
go
real
yes,
life.
and. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's bring her out. She has her own show called I'm just blanking. What's it called again?
Horror nerd.
Horror Nerds. Thank you. Horror Nerds. She does the improv once a month.
Once a month.
Once
Yeah.
a month. It's fucking awesome.
So she has a show called Horror Nerds.
Horror
right?
Nerds.
Horror Nerds.
So it's horror nerd,
I
but there are
fucking
lots of
love it.
nerds on the show, so that works too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That does. Okay, so Horror
I
Nerd.
dig- I dig
But
it.
coming to the couch right now, put your hands together for Samantha Hale.
Yay!
Yay! I am so glad you finally able to make it on a non-Monday.
I did. I know. I'm one of those West Valley dwellers that it takes me an hour to get anywhere. So
But she's a freaking homeowner, so that I excuse you for living in the West Valley.
Well, thank you. Whenever I tell people that I am actually in the house that I grew up in, they always say, "Oh, you live with your parents?"
Not anymore.
Kinda. They don't really say much.
It's really funny. It's like you own your own home,
Yeah.
and you're like, "Oh, I grew up in the house," and it's like still like
They're like, "Oh, well,
you must,
clearly."
you
No, it's not.
must live with your
Okay.
mom and dad."
Yeah, no, I mean, both
That's hilarious.
my dad passed away when I was 22. And so rather than doing the normal, like, oh, you move out, you get your first apartment, you go to college.
Mhm.
Like my dad wasn't doing well. And I went to CSUN for a semester and that's how I moved
Okay.
out. And then I was like, this is stupid. And I came back. Don't listen to me. Go get a college education. Well, I don't have any loans. I'm just saying. But I came back. Yeah, I came back and then my dad passed and all of a sudden I was this 22-year-old
It was your
dealing
fault,
with
by the way.
it was.
I blame you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know what the best part is? He would have thought that was funny.
I mean, I hoped that somebody
I
would.
feel like our dads would have gotten along.
Definitely.
Because they were a couple of
They were
assholes.
rabble-rousers. Yeah, rousers,
They were
rousers,
rousers.
yeah.
I feel like my dad and your dad would have been a waitress's worst nightmare at a restaurant.
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh.
It's either flirting or yelling. I can't.
Both?
Yeah, both. Standing up. My
Hey,
dad.
toots!
Oh, my
That
dad
was-
stood on a table one time and was like, "If my daughter wants a fucking pina colada, then bring her a goddamn pina colada." I was like, "Dad, I'm 16. You can get down from the table now." And then I walked home.
Was this at like Chili's with the high
Wow.
tables?
No,
Or was
it was at Taxco. I don't even
Taxco.
think it's
Oh,
there
the go-
anymore in the
oh, wow.
valley. Yeah, it was. So
Oh, that's
good.
why they closed. Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Too many people were
That's why your
demanding
dad
things
is
on
our
tables.
clientele.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jerry's Deli is gone too. What does that say about
Oh,
our
that's
dads?
right. Well, that was my dad's name, Jerry. So that's
Oh.
probably why.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I normally I don't ask a lot of like personal questions because everybody does
Oh my
that.
God, ask whatever you want.
Well, it's not even that personal, but like in case people don't know who your grandpa is.
How dare they?
I know exactly how rude
Wait,
that
you
you
know,
wouldn't
you know
know.
who your grandfather is?
No, we're still
She
looking
doesn't-
for
yeah.
him.
Oh, okay.
He was lost on an island in 1964. It was supposed to be a
Oh.
3-hour tour. And they never came back. Well, they came back for a little bit, and then some guy named Gilligan broke a compass, and they got stuck back on the island.
And then when were you born?
When was I born?
Mhm. Oh, this is a TV show. Never mind. I thought this was your life story.
Are you serious? Oh, shut up.
You guys.
We were yes-anding. Did you
Yes,
see it?
yes,
Nikki?
that's right.
High five.
Nice job.
Yeah, so my grandfather is Alan Hale Jr., the skipper. Which is
Wait,
pretty
so
cool.
he was a junior.
He was a junior.
And was your dad a third?
He was okay. So my dad technically was an Alan Brian Hale,
Okay.
but he decided to go by Brian. So it was
Okay.
Brian, and then he switched it. He's like, I'm Brian Alan Hale now.
Okay.
But so my great grandfather, he was in all the early swashbuckler movies. So he was Errol Flynn's sidekick, basically. So
Oh,
that
that's
was
so cool.
Alan
Whoa.
Hale. Yeah.
Oh.
And the crazy thing is, I didn't know this until, I don't know, like third grade or something. I was doing like a family history book report. And my dad said, oh, by the way, our last name is a stage name. I said, wait, what? So Alan Hale Sr., when he came over from Ireland in the 30s, his name was Rufus McCann. And I thought it was
Oh.
McCahan because that's the way it's spelled.
Mhm.
And
All
then
right.
when I went to Ireland, I was in some small like town and I was so proud. I'm like, yeah, my great grandpa was Alan or Rufus McCann. And the guy looked at me like, it's McCann.
Like, are you coughing?
Completely, I know. Like, what is wrong with this American girl? But yeah, so I mean, it's legally
Oh, wow.
our name, but it was, he thought that Rufus was too Irish.
Too
and-
Rufusy.
Too Rufusy.
Yeah.
And he was like a contract player with Warner Brothers. And so they're like, you're an Alan Hale now.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Kind of cool, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so he
that's
was
really
like in the
cool.
olden days.
days,
That's
yeah.
like
Wow.
fascinating period.
Yeah. So
of
old
time.
Hollywood to me feels very like nostalgic, like home.
Hell
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I like that you had that like relationship with it. You know.
Yeah.
Is there this like? Okay, wait. How do I say this? I forgot what I was saying.
What?
How do I say this?
Yes, and
You
I
can't be
forgot.
pretty and smart.
I know.
I'm neither.
I said that to once to someone. He was like, "Oh, well, which one are you?" I was like, "Damn it, that was
That's fucking
good."
hilarious.
It's
Oh, I
good.
walked into that.
But there was. Oh, that's what I'm gonna say. There was a time in this country when you could be too Irish.
Yeah.
Like there have been whoever stepped foot here was instantly like. That was the racist. They were against that race, and every time that happened, it was
Yeah.
something different.
Obama just did a speech on that. Like we're
Oh, really?
all
Yeah.
not supposed to
Yeah,
be here.
we're all
None of
we're
us are-
all guests.
It's
really.
unbelievable. Yeah, it's fascinating because my
Yeah.
dad came to this country. He wanted to change our last name from Iocolano to Hamilton.
Oh,
He just liked
gosh.
Hamilton, Sandro Hamilton,
Hamilton.
Franco, all the vowels.
You could
I
tell
would've
people
been-
you were related to George Hamilton. That would have been
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Georgino Hamilton.
Wow.
Yeah, that could work. But it's funny
I
how
like
like
your
that
last
works
name.
I
out.
like
But,
his last name.
Yeah. but now you look back at all those names like Rufus McCann, like Rufus. That's like
That's a
fuck,
great
cool
Yeah, it's a
name.
power name. It is
Yeah.
a power name.
And he was an opera singer. I'm like, that's
Wow.
not fair.
He sounds
I
like a
can't
rock
even do
and roll guy.
karaoke.
Yeah.
This bitch was an opera singer. That's amazing.
I can't read, so I can't do the karaoke. That's the biggest part of it. And then it moves.
Yeah. Oh, forget it.
Letters. Whew.
It's a good
Yeah.
thing you don't have to read the notes that I pretend not to read while we're doing this podcast.
Oh my goodness. There's
I know.
okay. There's a whole lot of staph infection
yeah,
happening
yeah,
over there.
yeah. I don't. How long should we wait to start getting into it? I don't know.
I mean, here's the thing:
And if we
with
tr-
infections, you
Yeah.
don't have a choice.
They
true.
they start when they want to start.
Mhm.
That's true. All right. Well, it sounds like it already sort of started infiltrating and infecting our conversation.
Yeah, this one could go
Yeah.
viral.
Oh,
So-
but
yes, yeah.
Oh no, I didn't mean that. Not that meaning.
Did
I'm
you
sorry.
get? Did he get a hot or a nice? Cut. He said cut.
he got a full on edit out.
Thanks for the support. I mean, he laughed so hard. Did you hear him?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you blew it.
Thank
All
you,
right.
buddy.
Oh, your sense of humor is infectious.
Nice,
Oh, nice.
nice. By the way,
All right, I didn't get a cut.
Hey,
I
there
got
you
a
go.
laugh.
You're making me sore. I'm starting to boil.
Oh, Susan.
Susan Boyle. I just look like her. I can't sing like her.
Oh,
my
Susan.
God.
She does have a beautiful, beautiful voice.
Yes,
she
she
I'm
does.
not saying that for any other reason than I just like her voice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, good. Thanks for bringing us down. Okay, so MRSA. Have you heard of MRSA before?
No, actually, I have not.
Okay, so MRSA it should be the notes that I put up there. I thought had the what it stands for. Will you look it up for me? Because
Yeah.
I forgot my regular notes. Oh, here we go. Is this it? No, it's not it. Because my phone's at home, and so I left my notes. Anyways, would you mind looking up just what does MRSA stand for?
Wait, you mean you're allowed to go somewhere without your phone?
I
you don't
accidentally
implode?
left it on the couch.
I can't believe I did find my,
Wow.
and then her phone was over at my place, and I couldn't believe it.
You couldn't believe
No.
it.
Okay, so do you want to
Just
Okay,
no,
ready?
you can read it. Yeah.
Methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus. I think that's
Nice.
That sounds like a
Greek.
Game of Thrones character.
It does, doesn't it? Staphylococcus.
He just got through screwing his brother.
Yeah. So bad.
Bad, very
So
bad.
bad.
Yes. Well, and what? It's a staph infection, and you probably heard of staph infections.
I've heard of staph infections. I couldn't tell you exactly what the symptoms are. I just know it's bad.
Well, you can get staph in your throat. You can get staph pretty much anywhere, but in this case, it gets in your skin. Yeah, and it starts off as like these little painful bumps. Let's see if I can find a cute one. See, that's I don't know. It looks
that's
like a
not
nipple.
cute.
Did you just happen to have that ready to go?
Of course I didn't. Yes,
Wow.
of course
That's
I
her
did.
wallpaper.
That's it.
If you're watching and not listening, no, probably better you do the other.
Probably
If you're
better,
listening,
yeah.
you're not watching.
Yeah.
It's really nasty. So let's show a couple. Oh, there's really bad ones.
Is
I
that an
know.
extreme close up?
Yeah,
Oh,
that looks like RoboCop's underneath there.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Or the Terminator.
Do you pop that?
No. Okay, here's what. Let me give you a quick story. That is what I had a client. She had one of those.
Wow.
Gladys, I love you so much.
Oh, you just named her.
Well, yeah, I'm sure she'd love it.
Wow.
She had one just like on her forehead, and she goes, "Can you get this thing?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess." And I kept trying to pop it, and nothing would come out of it, but it looked like it had a whitehead on it.
Yeah.
So cut to, we do, I put some stuff on it to like kind of dry it up, and then nothing happens, and then next thing I know, Gladys is in the hospital. It's gone into her body.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and it's really, really serious. It can get into your body, and it can be deadly.
Like in your bloodstream?
Yep, and it can be deadly.
And where does it come from? Like,
Okay, so you can get it in multiple. First of all, let me give you just if you do happen to have it, you'll notice that something is warm to the touch, which just usually means an infection.
yeah.
You might have pus in it. Again, it could just be an infection, and then it's accompanied by a fever. That means you have like a serious infection. So watch out for that if you have it. A lot of times they start off as red bumps, and then they turn into like these big abscesses or boils, which is what you saw on the screen a second ago.
Not Susan.
So tell me what your question was. Oh, how do you get it? Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
So you can get it through touch. You can get it. A lot of people get it like.
Oh, good. I thought you were going to say you have to know somebody.
Yeah, I know a guy.
Okay, sorry. That's the worst. It's like, how do I get
I can
this?
hook you up.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, it's somebody I know. It's like, oh man. But that's okay. So you get it through touch.
You got to get touch.
Okay.
A lot of people get it in the hospital,
Oh, that's too bad.
right? Which
That
is
makes
why.
sense.
Okay, when I was visiting my dad in the hospital, I noticed that the guy would take the antibacterial stuff on his hands before and after,
Hmm.
and it confused me. I don't know. And he asked me to do it too, even though I was wearing gloves and everything. But it's so prevalent in the hospitals that I guess it would make sense because one person can carry it to the next person.
Yeah.
So even just by touching, yes. So yeah, that's like a major place that people get it. Any public place. I mean, it's not going to be everywhere, and you're not necessarily going to get it. Or if you get it, you might not necessarily become infected with it. But the reason why it's so hard to get rid of is because it's resistant to like all these antibiotics that we've been taking over the years unnecessarily,
Yeah.
right? You can't kill a virus with an antibiotic because it's a bacteria.
Yeah.
So we're pumping the antibiotics in our body, killing all of the good stuff, and then on top of that, that bacteria is running wild.
Right.
When I was working
Virus rather.
yeah,
Wait,
I
did I
think
switch
it's a
them?
virus.
I think did I switch it?
Let's just stay here until we figure this out.
Either way, because I'm on the spot, I can't remember right now. But the bottom line is it's really hard to find anything that will kill it.
When I was working in pharmacy back in the pharmacy game days as a technician,
Yeah.
when I was working at nursing homes, there was orders coming in and people have MRSA. And there was just always like prescribing Cipro. That was like the biggest thing. Cipro.
That's a big one, right?
Yeah, but it was Cipro, but a lot of times it had to be like IV, I believe, or I almost said edible. It had to be IV. Because
Crackers.
apparently, like, because I think because of the fact, or liquid as well, because of the tablets themselves, the pharmacist was telling me there's something where the molecules are too big to even get through.
Oh,
like,
wow.
because that's how like MRSA's like, they guess like the genome,
Yeah.
the
the biome.
the biome of itself is like so like thick and so like hard that
It's like impenetrable.
yeah. So that's why it's very difficult to even get in there. So
That's
Cipro is not even like a, at least
crazy.
back then it wasn't like guaranteed they would work.
Alex, will you scroll a little bit more for me? And so, actually, just give me like a whole new page if you don't mind. Woo!
Nice.
All right. And so, yeah, so they were coming in for themselves, and they were getting like this, like a Cipro pack. But wait, where's the?
So they were just doing. I think it was believed just IVs.
Oh, is IV? You can
So-
get an IV in a pharmacy?
Well, it was a long-term care pharmacy. So basically, orders would come in for like nursing homes and whatnot. So a lot of people would come in and they would have like MRSA just because they've been in a nursing home for so long. There's nurses walking back and forth, touching
Yeah.
them, and just So it was.
You can give it to
terrible
somebody, except for where you would pocket the little pills every once in a while.
Yeah, but nobody knows about statutes of limitations.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
cool, would you?
Sorry. No, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, you can give it and not necessarily have it, but you can carry it and give it to another person. So when you're in the airport and you're in,
like HPV.
yeah, exactly, like exactly like HPV. I just got
Was
so
that
depressed. Yeah.
Human
everyone
papillomavirus.
has it.
Yes.
What's a papilloma?
Oh.
Isn't
Yeah.
that
Is that a
a
city?
Papilloma Picasso?
That's yes. Okay, yes. Picasso's cousin.
Papilloma?
Yeah, papilloma.
It's an art piece.
That was the woman that
It's an art piece.
Prince was dating at Papillomia.
Oh, a papilloma.
Papillona?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
correct. Yes.
Papillona? Yeah.
Alex isn't even moving in the other room. I think he died.
I think
That's as long as we're still recording.
we've killed him.
I was looking at the notes. So let's see. As far as where you can get it, hospitals, having an invasive medical device, like if you're getting intravenous, like an IV,
Mhm. Just
or
like one.
a urinary catheter, which we all love. Getting a nice
Fun.
urinary, anything that they're putting inside of you to travel in your body, living in a long-term care facility, which is like what you were saying.
Yeah.
There's a few of these that are kind of interesting. Contact sports, right? And the one that,
I've heard of that. That makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're
You get,
right
like,
there.
You get ringworm.
Yeah, and you're covered in sweat and
Yeah.
you're like reusing helmets and
Oh,
things like
totally.
that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my God, I forgot about that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What they named wrestling as one of the main ones, which is just so crazy. I don't know why that makes me laugh, but like,
Wait, so here's a wrestling story.
Yeah.
So when like it was WWF back then,
Mhm.
and it was like Monday Night Raw and SmackDown back when like The Rock was first
Stone
coming
Cold.
up. Stone Cold.
Yeah.
I mean, I started watching all that because my first boyfriend loved all of this, and I was like trying to, oh my God, if you like it, but I like it.
Yeah.
I didn't know any better. So I'm watching, but then you kind of get into it. It's like a soap opera,
Yeah,
right? You kind of
totally.
get into it.
Totally.
And I was so desperate to impress this guy that I literally got in the ring and learned how to wrestle.
did you really?
Yeah, I wanted to be the next Lita. I wanted to be the next Trish Sir, which is ironic because I just did a set at this Comic-Con Revolution in Ontario, and both of them were there, Trish Sir and Lita, and they were like their line was just through the roof, and they both look like they haven't aged at all. Like they both look stunning.
Trish.
Stratus.
Mm.
Sorry, not Sir.
Oh, I was going to say
Stratus.
she's a comedian.
Yeah, no, I always say Sir. I don't know why. No,
Like,
Trish
oh,
Sir is a brilliant, very funny comedian.
Yes.
I love Trish, but no, Trish Stratus.
Okay.
Gotcha.
But anyway, so I got in the rink. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be a wrestler. You know what the hardest part was?
Huh.
Running the ropes.
Oh,
You know when they bounce off the
Yeah.
ropes?
Yeah.
Welts.
really?
That stuff probably gets infected all the time,
Oh,
I would
I'm
imagine.
sure.
That was so hard. It was just easier to say my dad was hitting me rather than explain, well, I got in the ring and I'm yeah, my dad's abusive. Bye.
I was on
Sorry,
the
Dad.
ropes.
It was a joke. But that shit was hard.
I want to see that on. Do you have any on video?
God, no.
Oh, that would be so
Absolutely not.
awesome. What, did you have a name? Did you give yourself like
I
a
didn't
character
get that
name?
far because
Okay.
I realized that I value my neck in one piece.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I think I'm in love with this guy, but I'm also like 17. I don't know any better. I'm getting out of here.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. And it's probably for the best.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
sitting here and you walked in today, so that's
I walked
positive.
in today. Yeah. And he wound up leaving me for a Hooters waitress. So
Yeah. Oh, that
And
story
they're
just got
terrible
so bad.
at wrestlers.
I know.
Yeah.
And they're
Those
terrible.
are the worst wrestlers.
Hooters waitresses?
know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
she was not any good in the rink either. He was a complete jackass. If I were to see this girl, I'd be like, hey, I bet you we can share some stories about this
Probably.
idiot.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you had to deal with him too. But anyway, yeah, I didn't want to break my neck for him.
Good
I'm
for
glad
you.
I did it.
You know what? High five. Yeah, I don't know.
That
I'm
was
shaking
a-
your
that was
hand.
a-
that was a good high five.
I was like, what? How do you
Wow.
high five?
I don't
There we
know.
go.
I shook a
Good
shook
improv.
five. Yeah, good improv. Okay,
Mhm.
let's see. That's another one. If somebody says something, you just go,
Good improv. Instead
Good
of saying
improv.
yes and,
you go,
Oh.
good improv.
good improv.
Yeah.
Or give me a minute. Hold on.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
think about this.
Yeah, hold on.
And then, yeah, that's the best one. I think.
Yeah.
Well,
Or we'll circle back to that.
Yeah,
Which
let's
means
circle
we'll never
back to
talk
that.
about
Yeah,
it again.
pass.
that's the one.
Pass,
Pass.
yeah.
Oh yeah, pass. Yeah.
Or thank you for sharing. So
Oh, I like that. Thank you for sharing. Yes. Oh, that's very polite.
or the I hear you. Okay.
Yeah, I hear you is great too.
No, that's
Anything
fantastic,
that shuts
yeah.
it down,
Yeah,
so that there's nowhere to go.
politely.
Yeah,
Like so that it sounds supportive,
Well,
but what you're really saying is, yeah, I don't care.
and also like the person can't
Real life.
go any farther with
Exactly.
the improv because you've just basically ended it.
I've just ended the end scene.
and scene.
Yeah,
that's another one.
Jazz
Yeah,
hands.
And
yeah.
scene. Exactly.
You have
But
to do
saying,
jazz
but
hands.
saying, I hear you. But anyways, that's also your version of yes and, because I hear
Oh,
you is
right.
very positive, and then
Right.
let's move on to something else. You suck. That's
Yeah.
also the and part.
Okay, yeah. Oh,
So I
right.
like
okay,
it.
so you
I
could
like
use
that.
that.
Yeah. Another one I like is I didn't believe it.
I don't believe it.
I didn't believe we're in the middle of the Sahara Desert and you're trying to sell me a latte.
Mm.
That's the one that really gets, because it's real life.
Yeah,
You know, how many times I said that to people after they tell me something, I go, I don't believe
I don't
what you're
believe
saying.
it. Yeah.
And it's my mechanic saying, you really got to fix this tire. It's got a nail through it. And I'm like, I don't believe you.
And scene.
And scene.
And scene.
Yeah.
And then in a ditch.
Yeah.
No,
That's
don't
life.
say that. Don't
no,
talk.
no, I would never. I don't drive in
You
ditches.
drive in ditches. I know.
Yeah.
Um,
Anyway, speaking of staph infections, if you have somebody in your staff that's just a no good person, comes to work late, what do you do before they infect the other staff members?
Ooh.
wait. Oh, you would want to, obviously you want to wash your hands for a
Yep.
good 20 seconds
Okay.
at least. And then, and or use like some sort of an antibacterial spray. Like
On the
alcohol.
staff member.
Yeah.
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 Well, you don't want your staff members to get staph infections.
Oh, I see what
Right.
you're
Because
saying.
then-
Sorry,
well, no,
I
no,
missed
but-
it. Sometimes
but-
I miss jokes.
But it made sense though.
I miss jokes. Could you bring jokes back?
No, you can't. And it's Ms. Jokes. She's had a rough life.
I miss having jokes. but
Hey, that was funny.
yeah, oh good.
Another
Yeah, that's
improv.
another one. Yeah, that's good.
Hey, that was funny.
Oh my.
People are going to think we did so much coke before we started today.
I know you guys well enough to be like, this is normal.
No, this is normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's normal.
that's true.
I feel I'm so exhausted.
That's another one. Yeah, I'm so
I don't have
exhausted.
time for this.
Yeah, I have a nap. I have time for this.
That's the best one so far.
And you just walk out.
Yeah, I don't have time for this. And
And
scene.
scene.
Yeah.
Okay, so 60% alcohol. I want to make sure I impart this information to you, and you can continue to interrupt me. I want that, but I'm just saying, like, that's why I'm breaking through sometimes. 60% alcohol. Sandro carries a spray bottle in his car. I don't know if it's 60% or not.
I think it's 90.
90%.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's gonna dry the shit out of your skin,
Yeah.
but it will kill if you go into a hospital or you just had sex. If you're a man having sex with another man, I'm reading the thing. If you have HIV, if you use illicit injected drugs, you're living in a crowded or unsanitary condition.
Illicit? Ugh.
Illicit. Yeah. What is illicit?
What a word.
I guess it's like
Sp-
illegal, right?
Illegal, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Complicit.
That's the fun thing about going to the hospital, though, or like even getting like a checkup. There was like, okay, so are you sexually active? Are you this? Do you use drugs? Do you use illegal drugs?
Like, you have to
It's
know
like,
the difference.
What do you say? Like, if I
Yeah.
say yes, do you have to do something about it?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
are you
what is-
asking because you care?
Yeah.
Mm.
Or you
Yeah.
want some.
Or you want
Yeah,
some?
there
you
I
go.
know. I don't know. It's that they're just so nonchalant about it. Like anything illegal.
You holding?
No.
Yeah, I know. Why?
Have you killed
Why, you know
anyone?
that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. They haven't killed anyone. All right, see you later.
Yeah.
Oh, you have killed people. All right, well, keep it under control.
Fantastic.
And just, it's such a weird question for them to ask.
It is.
It's also none of their business.
What's that?
The
Oh,
doctors.
it's none of their business.
Yeah, it's none of your business
Yeah.
about my body when I'm asking you to
Yeah.
fix my body.
What I'm paying
so
you
what
for.
brings you in today?
I
I
can't
don't
tell
think
you
I know
that.
you well enough to tell you that. Let's get to know each other. And
Straight
maybe
private.
I'll give you a copay. I know how this works.
You want that $15? You better work.
Exactly. You must have the same policy we do.
Yeah.
The $15 copay.
555, baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what can happen if not treated. It can go all the way into your bones, your lungs, your bloodstream, your bones.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
bones too.
I said bones twice. I know.
Yeah. Well,
'Cause
that's you like bones.
Yeah.
You start doing Blazing Saddles.
Yeah.
Drinking game.
Yeah. What's that?
Anytime
This is bones.
Nick P got it.
Yeah.
Okay, new drinking game. Anytime
Oh,
Nick
drinking
says-
game. Yeah.
says bones or doesn't get a joke.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be wasted all the time. I rarely get jokes. because I'm so literal. I will a lot of times I'll just take people at face value and not realize they're making a joke.
Oh, I think we've talked about this before.
Probably.
Yeah.
One of these days I'll make it funny enough to talk about, like outside of a regular conversation.
Mm.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes that's another
Yeah,
one.
that's another improv.
Also, it can go into your joints.
Wait, how does it go? Wait, it goes into like your cartilage?
I guess it gets you, it travels through your whole body, through your bloodstream. So it's going to get into everything where your blood is going.
And so what happens when you get it? So
Yeah, like what happened to the lady in the hospital?
So thankfully she was very young. And I think they gave her like super rounds of antibiotics to kill it. And she's alive. I guess I should skip to that part. She's fine. But she was out for like, I don't even know. She was in the hospital for, I think, a few months because she became, I think you get septic from that. You know what I mean? It's in your whole body.
Is it bad that my first thought was like, that's so expensive?
No.
I'm like not worried about like, oh, that sucks. You're in the hospital. I'm
That's
just
the
like, your
society we
bill
live
is
in.
going to kill you when
Totally.
you get out.
It's not this. The system failed you. That's
system
why
failed.
you have that first thought, because that's what I thought
Right.
too. I'm like, oh my God, months in the hotel.
bills.
And a hotel would be cheaper.
A hotel would be
Yeah.
cheaper, huh?
Uh-huh.
And
Holy
nicer.
shit.
Mhm.
And have less MRSA.
and have less staff in
That's
it.
Yeah. Especially, if it's like a holiday, they don't have much staff at all.
No.
Yeah.
But so wash your hands, keep your wounds covered.
Mm-hmm.
But wait a second. So it basically just like you get fevers. Do you get that kind of like what? How does it kill you?
Well, like I said, like it's like it infects your whole body, right?
Okay.
So that's when you go toxic when
That's
you're,
you get to, okay.
what is
yeah.
it called?
Septic shock.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
that probably is how it would end
Wow,
up.
that's nuts.
I mean, it's everywhere. If it's in your blood, once it's in your blood and it's going to your bones and everything else, it's going to go, I'm assuming it would probably go to your brain. I don't know. I'm making this part up. This is not from the Mayo website, the Mayo Clinic website.
Okay. Did you
just
check
FYI.
with the
This is from
mustard.org?
WebMD.
Yeah. Because
Mustard.org is my favorite.
Mustard?
Instead of mustard.
Oh,
well,
mustard.
the Mayo Clinic is so bad for your.
yeah.
So
Okay,
bad for
now
you.
you'd have to take a drink because
Yeah.
I didn't get that. Okay.
Alex, good point. The Miracle Whip Institute. The Miracle Whip Institute. Yeah.
Alex, yes.
That was fantastic.
So good.
Nice job.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Producer Alex is the fucking
If you
best.
can't Mayo, you must tard. No,
Wow.
don't want to say that.
No, you don't.
If you're listening and not watching, that was pretty funny. I had nowhere to
say
go.
so.
Yeah.
That's another one. If you say so.
I mean, the camera stands in the way of your funny joke, Alex.
Thank
So
God you
ironically-
read it. Yeah.
Get the Heinz out of here, Sandro. Nice. Okay.
Of the Heinz, nice. I'm behind on your
Yeah, I'm
notes.
behind you on that one. That was a good joke.
Yeah,
That's another good improv.
that's a good
Wow.
joke like that.
Always
Yeah.
practice safe sex and use condiments.
Nice. Yes.
Thank
liked
you.
it.
Thank you very much.
You did really good.
That was nice because
you.
I could see that as like a before and after on like Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
Just the
Wait.
whole thing.
Oh, condiments?
No, the whole like practice safe sex.
Really? That would be a lot of letters.
It'd be a lot, yeah, it would be a lot of letters.
I would love some like cute little housewife to solve it. Okay, and it is always you.
Yeah.
It's like some sweet little
And it's what?
homemaker. Like just having to say, okay, you got it.
Yeah, like a little housewife having to say that joke. Nikki, I can't believe
I don't know how to
See,
be a human.
This is why I'm not sober.
Yeah.
People, you're sober. You're so all over. You're so spaced out from being sober so much.
Dude, I can't help it. I'm high
it's
on
good.
life.
The joke was basically like like the play on words.
Mm-hmm.
Practice safe sex and always use condiments.
Yes.
And then as I go, I wish I could put my leg over my other leg. It's too short. But I really emphasize a point here. Plus, my hamstrings are tight.
If you are listening
But-
and not watching, Sandra's legs are like the character in King of the Hill.
Yeah.
The dad, where they
yeah.
what's his name? Where they
The dad, Hank?
No,
Or the little
his
boy?
dad.
Oh, I forget his name.
He lost his knees in the army, so they just sewed like his thigh to his feet.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's when he just
forgot
lost his
about
knees.
that.
Yeah. It was a very sad show.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. King of the Hill?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was sad, right?
It
I
had
don't
sad
know.
moments.
I never watched it.
You
I
never
watched him when he was on Beavis and Butthead.
Ugh, Beavis and Butthead used to give me night terrors.
Really?
That show scared me as a child. It made me so uncomfortable. It was like the animation and the way that their lips quiver.
I can see that.
Oh,
Yeah, the quivering.
Quivering was,
Some
and like
people-
the close-ups on the pimples and the hair. I was like, nope, can't do it. But I love Daria. I will stand by Daria.
Yeah,
for
I
the
can
rest
see
of my life.
that.
Love it.
I would watch Daria with you.
I
That'd be
still watch
awesome.
Daria.
We are Daria.
I know. I know. My roommate is Daria. Like, she's one of my best friends. We're Daria and Jane. I'm definitely more Jane. She's just,
Oh, Jane's her friend, her best friend. Or
Yeah.
something? Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I gotta watch that again. It's been so long.
oh, it's so good.
But Beavis and Butthead scares her, but she will talk about serial killers until your eyeballs fall out.
Absolutely.
Like, what's your favorite serial killer?
Ooh.
Wait. Who? These are human beings.
I'm
It's a
sorry.
loaded question.
Yeah, really? No one's ever asked you that question?
No, and I wouldn't even say. I do want to clarify. I wouldn't say favorite because they're all a bunch of assholes. They're
Right.
all a bunch of lip dick assholes. So I want to make that very clear.
In the words of
Absolutely.
Norm Macdonald, they're a bunch of jerks.
They're a bunch of jerks.
Yeah,
It's a bunch
what
of
a
jerks.
They're a
jerk.
bunch of jerks. But the psychology is fascinating. Absolutely.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it really begs the question, nature versus nurture. Is there such a thing as just pure evil? Like some of these people, their lives weren't that bad. What happened? Were you just born a psycho? I don't know. But I'm very interested. Like Ed Gein is fascinating.
Which one is he?
So he's the inspiration for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Psycho, and
That's
Silence of the
right.
Lambs.
For Psycho too?
Yeah, because he literally dug up his mother, his overly religious, insane mother, like poisoned his mind. They lived in the middle of nowhere in Wisconsin, and she was all that he knew. And she turned him. She basically like poisoned him against women, and he was so fucked up that he couldn't be without her. So he dug her up and left her skeleton in the house. Hence the Psycho reference. And he was
Wow.
the one that was cutting up like body parts and using them for cups and lampshades and stuff. Hence Texas Chainsaw
Oh, that's
Massacre.
right. That's
Oh,
crazy.
right.
Yeah.
There is-
So it's a really interesting story. I mean, Bundy, that's a whole mind trip, really, that guy.
He looked like Bush to me. He looked like President, the first one.
Yeah, I could see that a
You
little
know?
bit. And it
Or
was
maybe
just
the younger
fascinating
one.
how like people were
Younger.
like, oh, he's so good looking. There's no way he did any of those things.
Yeah.
Oh, he did it.
Yeah.
Oh, he definitely. And that was part of his disguise.
Yeah.
That's kind of the terrifying thing is some of these people walk around their whole lives like family men.
Dude, and they're like friendly.
They're friendly.
And warm and personable.
Yeah, I mean, Gacy was a politician.
Yeah.
He used to. He's like my least. That guy's a total turd. What a asshole
my-
that guy was.
The fact that like everything that they do is thought out methodically in a sense
Yeah.
where like, especially if you get to those levels of like, when you get to like the top tier serial killer,
Yeah.
like after you pay your dues
top
and
tier.
whatnot.
serial
tier.
killers.
Sometimes, it's like having a membership at Costco. The gas is cheaper,
Yeah.
but like they're very aware of like what they look like. They're very aware of their environments.
Yeah.
Like Ted Bundy knew that he was good looking and knew that could be his way in.
Yeah. A lot of
Gacy-
them are incredibly intelligent
Yeah.
and narcissistic.
How many
crazy.
serial killers drive a fucking Volkswagen Bug?
I mean, Bundy is the main one that
Yeah.
we think of when we think of a bug.
I mean, I think of a van
or a van. Yeah. Yeah.
But like the bug, it's just a cute little like beep beep beep,
Yeah,
up
it's
and beep
adorable.
bopping around town.
Yeah.
Just slicing people up.
Yeah. It's just insane. It's really, really scary stuff.
You watching this? Are you watching the Jinx?
The Jinx? Oh,
With
gosh.
the
what did I
Robert
miss?
Durst
Samantha
story.
What is Hale?
Please
What's your middle name?
enlighten me.
What's your middle name?
Oh, it's fancy. It's Jeanne.
I like
Samantha
that.
Fancy Hale.
I was gonna say that's either one's fantastic.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
spelled like Jean, like Jeanne, but it's the French version of Jan.
So Jen.
Ah,
Jeanne.
Jeanne.
Oh, I love that.
Isn't that kind of, it's kind
Yeah.
of cool?
yeah,
Yeah.
Jeanne. I like
Yeah.
that.
Makes me want to order like a dry martini.
Oh, that sounds really good right now.
Actually, I'd eat the olives.
I know what I'll be doing tonight.
Yeah.
The
Doesn't
Jinx.
sound refreshing. A dry martini.
It does to
It
me.
sounds-
It's good, but the dry in front of it.
I know.
Yeah, but
With
people who
olives
know.
now.
With
it's
so many olives,
Olives,
and
all the
all the
olives.
juice, the olive juice.
Oh, the dirtier the
yeah,
better.
man.
That's right.
That's going
Yeah.
in the teaser right
I
there.
dig it.
The dirtier the better.
Fantastic. I'd watch that.
What? The dirtier the better?
Yeah. If something
Yeah.
was like the dirtier, I was like, when is that?
Yeah.
I don't watch
What do
that.
they mean? Yeah, like what's their definition?
And then it goes right into serial killers. We're like,
Yeah.
oh God.
Or no, MRSA.
Oh, right. Oh no.
Has there
they're
been
dirty.
a link between serial killers and MRSA? Has anybody done like definitively?
I don't think so.
Could they've? I'm just saying. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it could be something that's nothing.
Yeah. It could
So
be.
it
It could be nothing.
Yeah, it could be nothing at all. We should probably look into that.
I want you to go ahead and start now and start the car, and I'll be down in a few.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
I wish.
Start the bug.
Yeah.
Start my
the
Volkswagen.
Volkswagen Beetle.
That was my first car.
But you
remember
have to
when
be
it
the
was
old
slug
one.
bug and whenever you saw a
Yeah,
slug
yeah.
bug hit the person with you, I
Mhm.
still do it. I don't care.
People would just sit in my car and just slug me all day.
That's why you
Just
got
kidding.
it.
I know. And that's
Now
why I have
serial
brain
killers
damage.
probably drive Teslas.
Probably.
Probably.
You know, and I mean economically, that's fine.
But then but while you're killing someone, the car drives itself, so it's very economical.
Oh my God, you can get all your clerical work done, like all your scheduling stuff, because like like killing a body's killing a body.
Killing a
Listen to
body,
me.
the body's already dead.
Well, then you're not going to jail for that.
Yeah.
So you're fine.
So wait. So now tell her about Jinx.
Yeah.
It's on HBO. Do you have HBO? Max or whatever it's called?
I need it. I had it for a while and then we're like, oh, we'll renew it. And then we didn't, but I need to. There's
Get
so
it
much good stuff on it.
after, what is it, Sunday?
I think Sunday's the
and
last
then you
one.
can binge the
maybe.
whole thing.
And then you can
If it
binge
is,
the
yeah.
whole
Oh,
thing
smart.
and get like
Okay.
a free trial. That's it.
The
That's what we
7-day
love to.
free trial
Yeah.
I
and
have
then
so
watch
many email
everything.
addresses.
I know, because I want to watch the new True Detective on there with
Oh,
Jodie
yeah.
Foster. Yeah. So I
I'm
got to
s-
get it.
yeah.
I gotta
Yeah.
get it.
But so the Jinx, I was gonna say the Minx. He was on a show called Minx. The Jinx is about this trust fund baby, but he was a man, not a baby.
Mhm.
I'm not good at
He was
telling
a man,
stories.
baby. Yeah. So he's
You
the
tell.
guy. You've seen Humans, right?
Yeah.
He was one of those, but like not the one, not the vagina kind. He's a guy.
Yeah.
He's a real estate
We
heir.
have 10 minutes. Can you
I'm
get
sorry.
this story out?
Yes. I've been to your school of
Alex is
storytelling.
laughing now.
And Jinx, you owe me a murder. Remember that?
Yeah,
You
I said that.
okay.
Yeah, Jinx, you
Anyways,
owe me a cadaver.
you owe me a cadaver.
Yeah.
So there's this real estate heir and like one of the really prominent real
Is
estate.
this a documentary or like
Yes,
a
yes.
documentary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, it follows along where this guy Robert Durst, who is like accused of like killing
Yeah.
different people.
yeah.
Yeah. So you familiar with the story then of that?
A little bit. Yeah.
So the first person he killed
Yeah.
was who?
Or?
His wife. We
His
don't
wife,
know.
they don't know.
Apparently,
But
his
basic-
wife disappeared.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is, so he voluntarily agrees to be on this
yeah,
guy's.
because they're narcissistic
Yeah.
idiots.
And he
I
gives
can
away
outsmart
way
the
more.
cops.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's how Gacy got caught. He thought he was so smart. Thank God he thought he was so smart and got
Yeah.
caught. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Idiot.
similar to what happened with this, right?
Yeah. They kind of go over. They overplay their hand. They're almost like to the point where people are like, "Is there a part of the brain that we're in that point where you want to get caught?" Because sometimes
They
people.
want the clout for it.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a spoiler alert if I tell her about the end of the first? I probably shouldn't, huh?
I mean, I wouldn't.
I would. Okay. All right. Well,
But what
suffice it
you
to
can
say,
do is give me your Max password.
oh, absolutely,
See?
yeah.
And then after a month, we change the password.
Yeah.
Free trials aren't free.
I just have to kill you.
Well, you know how to do it now.
No, exactly. I've been schooled.
Yeah, just put some staph on a glove and shake my hand, and then we're good.
Put some staff on a glove. I'll take a vial of staff, please. Oh, here you go.
It sounds like ordering in a deli. Staff on a glove.
Staff on a glove.
I don't know.
Yeah. Order up.
Put it
up.
around
Yeah.
the martini glass.
Oh
and
my
then buy me a
God.
martini.
And
That's
that's
the way to
martini.
do it.
That's
It is.
dirty.
Oh.
I'll leave you alone now.
I know.
Okay.
Thank you. I was working on Olive, but I'm glad you stepped
What are you,
in.
Popeye? Working on Olive?
This is getting out of hand.
Well, at least we're sticking to topic.
The topic's over. I mean, we covered pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Just wash your hands, wash your razors. It's really easy to get any kind of infections, staph infections, from just using a razor that's just got it on it for whatever reason.
I do pick them up off the street. Maybe I'll stop doing that.
It's hard not to. I get it.
I'm so
Yeah.
glad that we saw you today.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Because I've got one in my back seat right now that I just found on Sunset. Maybe I shouldn't use it.
You're like, this one looks really
I found it in
good.
front of the Viper room. That should be fine, right?
There's no
you're
bacteria
fine.
Is
around
that
there.
still there? The Viper room
I think
still,
it's
it
for
is,
like,
right?
yeah.
Another little while, then they're going to supposedly knock it down.
I heard about that. Then leave it alone. Leave Sunset alone.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Oh.
that speaks to volumes. Human
The
beings can't
history
leave
that
the
we
sunset
have here.
alone.
I know. Well,
We have to change it.
yeah.
We've seen the sunset. We're like, yeah, yesterday's was better.
Oh, the actual
The
sunset?
actual,
yeah.
well, that's what I'm saying. I think it's a commentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of the words I'm trying to figure out how to say.
I
here.
was just leaving a lot of dead
But,
airspace for you to do that.
I'm satisfied.
Okay.
Another improv. I'm
Another,
satisfied.
satisfied?
Yes, and
Oh, I love
Thank you.
Samantha just walking into the room and improv and just going, yes, and.
That's how I do improv. No, I actually
Literal.
did Second City.
I did too.
Which is, out here?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I wonder.
I did it when I was doing stand-up at the same time.
So I did it like right before I was doing stand-up.
okay.
Yeah, I did that first. So when it was at like the improv?
No, it was
okay.
it was on
you
Hollywood
do?
Boulevard.
Oh, I did a couple classes there too.
Okay.
It's just weird because where I took classes at Second City is now it's now where the offices are at the improv, and the
right.
theater
Oh, wow.
used to be the lab,
Oh, okay.
which
Yep.
is so weird that I still wound up in this space in another capacity all those years
That's
later.
where Sam's show is.
That's
once
where
a
the
month
show
at
is.
the
Yeah,
improv
so
lab.
cool.
At the lab, which is so weird because I had like my improv grad show there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I dig it. You have a very like you stick to your roots and evolve and innovate in them. Like the house you live in, you grew
Mhm.
up in, and now the improv is where you do the show. But you've been in that place
Yeah,
in
it's
like
weird.
2 other lifetimes. Was the lab was different, upstairs was different.
Yeah. That
Like,
was another lifetime.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It is kind of cool. And it just happened. I don't know. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just happened that way. Crazy.
Alignments.
I like it.
They're not just for chiropractors.
Alignments.
Aligned.
Yes,
Sorry.
yes.
Alignment. I keep thinking of like alignments. You know, like when you go to get your cars, your tires rotated.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the universe saying you're in alignment.
Very mechanical brain.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just listen to Esther Hicks a lot.
Oh, no, that's
Yeah.
great.
Well,
That's another good improv.
yeah, that's
Well,
another one. Well, I'm not sure. Do you have anything else you would like to share with us before we wrap
we're
it
going to
up?
kick you out immediately.
She's going to. You're going to Flappers tonight, right?
I am.
What time? I mean, this is not going to be out until next Wednesday. But what time were you going to be there?
What time were you going to be? I love
Well,
it.
no, you can actually say this is kind of cool. So I'm going tonight. I'm doing a guest spot on Jay Leno's show, which is pretty exciting.
Super fun.
What?
Cool.
Yeah, and I'm getting to host for him. I think it's June 13th.
Uh-huh.
I think. Yeah, so that'll count. That'll be when this
Yeah.
comes out in the
Yeah.
future.
It all counts.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's exciting. It's just crazy. It's again one of those alignment things
Mhm.
because I used to watch the Tonight Show with my dad all the time. We watched it every night. And we even remember Ross the intern, Ross Matthews.
Oh, yeah.
We used to love Ross. And another weird thing about how the universe works is I wound up working for Ross Matthews
You
not
did?
long ago. Yeah, I used
Oh,
to run
wow.
a drag show for him.
Oh, that
Yeah.
was
That's
him.
so cool.
Yeah, so it's just weird. And then, but if you would have told me when I was a little girl, oh, you're going to do a show, you're going to perform stand-up comedy with Jay Leno, I'd be like, what?
No way.
Why
Yeah.
would I do that? That sounds horrible. Stand-up is crazy.
Oh my God.
I didn't grow up
That's
wanting to be a
awesome.
stand-up, which is crazy.
Where's the show?
Flappers.
Oh, is it Flappers? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, they're both at Flappers.
I
yeah.
did. I hosted a couple of his shows.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I hear he's pretty nice.
He's super
Yeah,
nice.
he's great.
He's one of the nicest
yeah,
people, and
he
he
talks
That's
to
cool.
everyone. Is just really gracious.
he's super present with you, and he'll
Yeah.
if you are open, he'll give you advice.
Yeah,
Um,
that's really cool.
yeah. He told me to be less dirty.
So don't do my asshole joke tonight.
I
All right.
know.
No, you're good. Do you?
Do you?
I think it's really cool that you kind of have
Well,
those
he's
moments
like
where you go
squeaky
back.
clean, though,
Yes,
right?
he is.
Squeaky.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
for sure.
And
Balloon queen.
it's just the thing that some people are just naturally really good at that because that's their I know a few comics who
Yeah.
just naturally work clean,
Mhm.
and I admire them for that. That's just not my
I
sense
do
of
too.
humor
I
or
wish
my
I
way
could
of.
be Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah, I mean, I was
Definitely.
raised by a single father. I learned the F word before I learned
Mhm.
how to do long division for sure.
Yeah,
So that's just the way I naturally talk.
You're right.
Yeah, it just flows out of me. So to not say dirty words or language that doesn't seem natural to me. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that would be weird.
Yeah.
It would be
Yeah.
like,
I can do it. I work clean if
Yeah.
I'm getting paid.
Yeah. but do you have to cut out a lot of your material?
It depends on how the level of clean that they're asking for. There's
Mm.
one booker who basically says, if you think you might possibly offend someone, don't even think about it. I'm
Don't
like,
even show up.
cool. Don't even
Don't even show up. if
Go
you-
to a different show.
Yeah.
Just go. No, so I definitely have a whole different set for that. Because there are jokes of course you just take out the dirty words, that's fine.
Yep.
Right.
But then there's
Mhm.
some jokes that the content is a little
Yeah,
dark.
there's bodily fluids or
Yeah,
sex
yeah.
references.
But
or,
also I have a lot of dark material. I have a lot of horror material, a lot of edgier stuff, a
Mhm.
lot of my sense of humor is very, very dark.
yeah.
Because I don't know. I remember a comic friend, Anna Valenzuela.
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
Anna gave me like the really great words of advice because her parents had passed away even before mine did, and we're similar in age. But she told me after my mom passed, she was like, "Listen, your sense of humor is going to get really dark really fast, and not everyone's going to know what to do with that, and that's okay." And that was great advice. I remember that all the time because it's true. Because I look at life and the world differently.
When your parents are gone.
Yeah. I view the world differently than people who haven't experienced loss.
Absolutely.
And it's not that I'm right or they're wrong. They just can't laugh at it the way that I can. I have no choice but to laugh at it.
Right.
It's still scary to them because they haven't gone through it yet.
But you make it very funny,
I have
though.
to, yeah. But I know like some of my jokes are so dark that I'm like, I need to have a tag to bring them back to me if I push too hard.
Just kidding.
Just kidding.
That's my tag for everything. JK.
JK.
I think it's cool though, because the fact that like there's some people that you might not get it because they haven't experienced it, but more often than not, you'll find people that absolutely do get it. And those are the ones that connect. They're like,
those are your people.
I've been there, or I kind of feel that. And I think and you have to be genuine to who you are and what you're feeling.
Yeah, this is my life experience. This is what I'm going to talk about.
Exactly.
So you don't like it, you don't have to like it. That's okay. Comedy is subjective, right? What I think is funny, you might not. And that doesn't mean I'm right or you're wrong, even though you're wrong.
Exactly.
But, you know what I mean? Like there's no,
I have everyone's card towed. While I'm on stage, the last 2 minutes of I say, hey, by the way, I'm gonna have your card towed, and I tell them, and then I have them towed.
That's a great. Do you really say that on stage?
Yes.
That's brilliant.
You do?
No, I don't.
No, you should though. That's so fun. Oh, you didn't laugh. I'm having your car towed
right now.
That will. If somebody said it to me, I know I would be like.
If you don't use that, I will, because that's funny.
That's another one. Improv. If you don't use it, I will.
That's a great one.
I think it's one of those things. It's a universal. So like, if it feels right, do it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like, I came up with you towed the car line.
Yeah.
Like,
going through my social media.
Yeah.
Sam doing crowd work just in case.
Oh my God. Hashtag tow truck. Okay, nothing came up. Good. Fine.
Well, I'll just, you know what? I won't even say that. I'll just be like, you didn't laugh. I'm giving you staph infection.
Pat him on the shoulder.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Going in the teaser.
I'm trying to give you teaser tidbits.
Oh, I love it.
I like it.
We have many. We have so many.
Great.
Well, where
Yes. Oh, can I ask?
Yes, you may.
Where can people find you? The very, very funny and talented comedian Samantha Hale. Where can people find you on the socials? You don't have to give out your personal address, like home address, but just
if you want to, you can.
Well, my phone number is 911, and I live at. No, I'm just kidding.
Let's bleep that out.
My Instagram is at the Samantha Hale. That's where I post all my good stuff there, all my shows and whatnot. But probably kind of like my baby, my horror themed stand-up comedy show that is once a month at the Hollywood Improv.
Yeah.
It's usually the third Friday of the month. Sometimes it's a little different. We're doing it. Oh, this comes out Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. We're doing it Thursday.
Oh, perfect.
Nice.
At 7:30. So that's the 30th at 7:30. We're doing the Gothic horror edition.
I want to do one. Can I do one?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll find a one that I
was
connect
so
with.
transparent.
Yeah.
That was so. Have Sam on the show. So you can ask that question in the last 10 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we
Unbelievable.
talk for an hour
Jeez.
just so I can ask if I could be on
And
the
if she
show.
says no, we're editing her out. It's going to be a 4-minute podcast.
Just your head is edited out.
That's hilarious.
There's just blood coming out of it, like
Dude.
CGI.
That's a great idea for a podcast.
Just have
At
their
random points, like just have like a head, just CGI and blood coming out.
I would listen.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I would watch.
You would
too.
watch. I was going to say,
I was like, wait a minute. you'd have to-
ASMR.
Is that blood spurting?
Oh, that would be graphic.
Yeah, it would be. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. This comes out on Wednesday at 3 a.m. Don't ask me why. I don't know why.
Witching hour. That's
Yeah.
perfect.
I
There you
figured
go.
maybe like really smart people get up in New York at 6 a.m. So that's why I put it out at 3 so that they don't miss
Skincare
it.
doesn't sleep.
That's right. Oh,
No,
that's
it doesn't.
good. That's good.
I just
All
want
right.
to do that with my jacket.
Oh yeah. He just if you're listening and not watching, he just did.
I did
don't know
a
what that is.
lapel flap,
Oh yeah. All right.
single-breasted lapel flap jacket.
That sounds
Classic.
good.
Yeah. Speaking of flap, Sam's got to get the flappers.
Oh, she got to get flappers. That's
So-
right. Okay, good. All right. Well, I love you so much. Thank you so
I love
much
you
for
more.
being here.
Oh, shake.
Well, no,
That was a
I
good
doing
high
like
five.
A touching. Yeah, like touching. Yeah.
Good
yeah.
fist
Are we
bumps.
exchanging energy?
Yes, we are.
As long as it's not staph.
Can you feel it? I forgot to wash my hands when I went to the bathroom.
I am the bathroom. What? What does that mean? Okay.
All right. We'll see you next week. Thanks. Yay. Bye.
All right, Alex, start recording.